Greetings and welcome to the Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team video, where today I'm going over my Kill Team Shadowhunt review. But before we get into things, thanks goes to Games Workshop for providing this to review for free. As always, I aim to be honest, impartial and constructively critical. But please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video if you found it useful and helpful. Remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, and a affiliate link at Games, and a affiliate link at Discord code at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But let's get on with today's video. Starting off with the box contents, inside Shadowhunt you just get 2 kill teams and some boards. There's no terrain or no additional miniatures for like the narrative stuff. So inside you get 10 Celestian Insidiants and then 6 Murderwing operatives, which is, you know, pretty nice. So you get all the sprues needed to build all of those, as you can see with the Celestial Insidiants and then with the Murderwing. Then after the miniatures, you also have a card folder which contains like the rules, the how to build stuff, as well as card tokens, as well as 2 special boards, right? So it's not half a Vocus and half a Gallowdark. It's like 2/3 of each. So it's an odd size. I was expecting 2 half boards, but you actually get 2 2/3 boards. And then, yeah, as I said, you get all the faction tokens as well as faction cards. So if you're looking to play one or both of these kill teams, you get all their tokens and cards needed to play them. For the kill teams, I've done 2 in-depth reviews, one for the Celestian Insidiants and one for the Murderwing, which you can see on my channel, but I'll briefly go over them here. The Celestian Insidiants are a 9 operative kill team, and they are 9 wounds with a free up save, baseline 2 APL. So they are quite populous for a quite tough team. They're generally 2 APL, and they basically work off of inspiring either via doing charge actions or killing operatives with 6 or less wounds. They're an interesting team that requires a lot of setup, where you need to quickly start inspiring operatives so then they can die and, well, basically chain off benedictions. So you really want to inspire operatives quickly, and effectively you have a chain way to do that with your leader, icon and comms. So that's kind of nice. They are the weaker of the 2 teams, and unfortunately if you want to get the most out of them, you do need another 10 to get more warriors, because warriors are only really useful this team, just because they're 4/4 damage, but when they're doing critical damage they get +1, so their melee and ranged output is a lot better. So when you need to do more damage, warriors are pretty good. Otherwise the team is vulnerable to being rushed down early, but if you've set up your inspiring, you know, chain quickly, by turning point 3 your kill team is really powerful. So you want to play defensive, then hit hard late game. So a late game kill team. Then you've got the Murderwing, who are very strong. They're also a 2-box kill team, unfortunately. You do get the Chaos Lord and 5 Murderwing, but if you want the most, you either need to use magnets or somehow to get some more Murderwing. They're very good. Like, they are incredibly good. They don't have fly, but they can use fly in a straight line. They can't go on vantage points, but they can go horizontally straight, ignoring everything in between, and can ignore vertical distance. So they can go from vantage point to vantage point, or vantage to the kill zone floor, or kill zone floor to the vantage. They are very powerful. They are technically a very aggro team with not much defense, but the problem is, because they're so good at bypassing stuff like, you know, barricades and razor wire, like just completely negating those things, they can quickly rush you down and destroy you. They are easily S tier, and unfortunately they are probably quite broken. The Chaos Lord is terrifying. He has a thing where he gets damnation points, and you have to roll above your damnation points to get more damnation points. If you somehow get 6, you just automatically pass the roll, and once you get to 6 you're basically unkillable. But based on your damnation points, you reduce the damage you're dealt by that much each time, as well as doing additional damage based on how many damnation points you have. So you ideally want 3, 4 if you're being risky, 6 if you just don't care. And you get damage basically if you roll under or how many damnation points you have. Otherwise the kill team is pretty cracked, right? They are technically weak defensively, but they hit so hard they will wipe everything out. So otherwise, 2 very powerful kill teams, one definitely way more powerful than the other. Then for the narrative elements of the kill team, you get the descent kill zone. So there's no extra operatives like we've got before. This time it's all about 2 new kill zones in a way. So as I said at the start, inside the box you get 2 2/3 boards almost. One for Vocus and one for Gallowdark, well, Tomb World. And as you can see in the picture, it's called the Descent kill zone. So the Vocus is the upper kill zone, and then the Gallowdark / Tomb World is the lower kill zone. These are connected by entryway markers, which are kind of like uniquely sized markers. So for climbing them, whenever an entryway marker is within a friendly operative's control range, it can climb that marker for 3 inches of its move distance, remove the operative from the kill zone and set it back up in a location that can be placed so the same numbered entry marker in the other kill zone is within its control range. That operative cannot be set up within control range of enemy operatives unless it's permitted to move that action, like with a charge. Note that the operative can continue moving after being set up if it has any move distance remaining and the action allows it. For the purposes of distance requirements when setting up an operative, e.g. if it's carrying a relic from adversary ops, climbing an entry marker is considered 3 inches away. You can also shoot from entryway markers, so whenever a friendly operative is performing the shoot action, if an entryway marker is within its control range, instead of selecting a valid target as normal, you can select an enemy operative that has the same numbered entryway marker in the other kill zone within its control range, ignoring the range X weapon rule. If you do, that enemy operative cannot be in cover or obscured for that sequence. Note that you still cannot select an enemy operative that has friendly enemy operatives within its control range. If the target is in a kill zone that has a close quarters rule, e.g. Gallow Dark, then the condensed environment additional rules will be used, even if the friendly operative isn't in that kill zone. So for example, if you're shooting from the Volcus one into the Gallow Dark one, you'll trigger lethal 5-up. So just represents you shooting down the ladder. For additional rules, some operatives have faction rules that allow them to remove from the kill zone and set back up again, such as with Fly or Shadow Passage. Whenever you use such a faction rule in a descent kill zone, you cannot set the operative in a different kill zone from the one it was removed from. In other words, operatives can fly and Shadow Passage with an upper or lower, but not between them. When using Aquilon drop markers, those cannot be placed in a different kill zone and you must choose the upper or lower, but be mindful of adversary ops mission 1. For the Canoptic Circle kill team, be mindful of where you set up your obelisk node markers and where the mission maps allows you to, as they can only create one obelisk node matrix where of other markers in the kill zone. If your operative is on guard and teleports to a different kill zone using a teleport pad, it is no longer on guard. So those are just some nice clarifications there. And then here is the mission map key, just showing all the terrain pieces that you use. Obviously, you need to buy all these, so if you don't have these, it's kind of rough. But also, we get a bunch of joint op missions representing this dual kill zone sequence, and it just goes through, once again, the standard MPO actions, like how it all ramps up, how to make it more difficult, all that kind of jazz and threat principle. Then we've got some MPO data cards. These, I think, are a bit more updated than ones we've gotten previously. Like, they've got better stats, more profiles, shows, I guess, that they're just kind of, in terms of the developers, are getting more confident in how to implement MPOs, which is always nice to see. And as you can see, we've got more enhanced rules for the Canoptic kill team, as well as some general NPO data cards, which is fine. It's just weird. In the last box, they were a bit, basic. And then this one, they're more in depth, which is, fine. It's just weird if you bought the last one and then didn't buy this one. It's just a bit odd. Then for the MPO data cards, we also get the Nightbringer. Unfortunately, he's not in the box. That would have been insane if it was. I mean, it would have been nice, but I'm kind of glad it isn't. So let me go through the Nightbringer's stats. It's got an APL of 2, it moves 5 inches with a 4-up save, and only 25 wounds. He has Gaze of Death, which is 4 attacks, Heal on Freeze, 5-0 damage, range 6, dev 5, severe. And then for close combat has Scythe of the Nightbringer, which is 5 attacks, Heal on Freeze, 5-6, lethal 5-up, rending. His behavior is fight, charge, shoot, and reposition. It's got Mighty Foe. This operative cannot have a conceal order and cannot be in cover, obscured, ready, or expended, meaning it can activate multiple times per turning point, and the turning point will end when all other operatives are expended. Whenever it's the MPO's turn to activate, roll a d6. On a 4+, activate this MPO, or skip the activation if it isn't in the kill zone. On a 1 to 3, activate another ready NPO, or skip the activation if there aren't any in the kill zone. This operative can perform 2 fight actions during its activation, but cannot move more than 12 inches per turning point. It has Necrodermis, so this operative cannot be injured and its stats cannot be changed. When operative is shooting this operative, worsen the X of the piercing weapon rule by 1 if any. Note that piercing 1 would therefore be ignored. It has Indomitable Reanimation, so whenever this operative is incapacitated, before it's removed from the kill zone, place a reanimation marker underneath the center of the space, then remove it as incapacitated, also removing any tokens and rules effects it had, such as poison. In the ready step of the strategy phase, roll d3+1. After that many activations has been completed, set up this operative with an engage order on the center of that reanimation marker marker. If there are any operatives that prevent this, set it up as if it's ended a move there, see determining presence below. This operative regains all lost wounds, and then you remove that reanimation marker. It's got domineering presence. This operative can move through parts of terrain features, including walls, as if they were not there, taking precedence over the terrain features rules, but must end those moves in the location it can be placed. When this operative moves through light terrain, remove that terrain from the kill zone unless it's attached to heavy terrain. This operative can move through operatives and end its move and set up over their bases. If it does, remove those operatives from the kill zone and set them up in a location it can be placed within its control range of this operative if possible, and as closest to their previous location as possible. Whenever another operative is on advantage terrain, if it's visible to and within 2 inches horizontally of this operative or vice versa, it's within this operative's control range. So effectively, it's big and kind of like pseudo night rules. Oddly, the night rules I made up on the spot in April for my special video, but he's terrifying. It's like he's just literally a boss that doesn't die properly, but it's really threatening. At first I was like, 25 wounds kind of sucks, but the fact he keeps coming back is terrifying. So I think it's a really good representation. Then we have missions. So first up, you've got find the source, and the victory condition is whenever a play operative ends an activation within the sarcophagus within its control range, that terrain feature has been scanned. When the sarcophagus has been scanned 3 times, the battle ends and the players win. If all play operatives are incapacitated, the battle ends and the players lose. You have the locate signature rule. In the lower kill zone, the sarcophagus C1 terrain feature has not been set up. The first time a play operative enters each room that has an objective marker, roll 1d3, adding 1 to the vote for each room that's already been searched during the battle. On a 4+, set up that sarcophagus on the center of the objective marker in the orientation marked on the map. If it's in the last room to be entered, if that has an objective marker, the D3 roll is automatically a 4-up. So if you haven't found it the first 2 times, it will automatically appear on the 3rd time. So you don't know where it's exactly going to be. Then you have mission 2, the sarcophagus, where now that you've located the sarcophagus, you're trying to extract its core, so you can do it for a 1 AP action. Then you've got mission 3, Rising Doom. Now you've unlocked the sarcophagus, you've accidentally released the Nightbringer, so your goal is to escape. So you want as many of your operatives to leave the kill zone as possible, starting down in the lower level and then going up to the upper kill zone. So, you know, shouldn't have maybe opened that. And then once again, you've got some more guidance for running the adversary ops for the Shadowhunt missions pack. Then you've got another mission. So for this adversary ops, you've got Into the Depths. Then you have Unlock the Vault for mission 2. And then for mission 3, you have Awakening, once again, where you've now opened the vault and unleashed the Nightbringer again. Now here are some more layouts that you can use. Probably I could see being used for double format events, such as with Adepticon. Once again, you have to remember these are from the unique boards that you get in Shadowhunt. So they're basically like 2/3 size boards for Volcus and Gallowdark / Tomb World. So here they are now. So that's map 1 and 2. This is map 3 and 4. Then you've got map 5 and 6, and then you've just got a key at the end. These maps are fine. I think you could see them. The only problem is I wouldn't recommend them for normal tournament play. This would be much better for doubles in my opinion. It's just that they kind of lengthen out the game a lot. So it's not, I would focus it more for narrative events and for more like doubles events, because it also takes up a lot of table space as well. So you would have to have a unique double format if you're trying to use it for competitive events, but otherwise I think they're all great additions. For the Shadowhunt overview, I actually think it's a really interesting box. Unfortunately, you do get 2 really cool kill teams, the Celestian Insidiants and the Murderwing. Unfortunately, the Murderwing are very strong, ridiculously strong, but that's just how the game is at the moment. And then also you have the Celestial Insidiants, who, while are a bit weaker to elite teams, kind of dominate everything that isn't an elite and kind of show the downfall with how lethal the game is, where it's gotten to the point where a team with 9 wounds and 3-up saves and 9 operatives also needs like -1 damage and rules that circumvent the core rules of the game. So I'm not more upset at the team, I'm more upset at like the power creep of design we have, which is just disappointing to see. It feels like the archetypes that were designed for stuff like, you know, being Eldari, humans and space marines is just kind of blurring to deal with all the power creep and how lethal Kill Team is at the moment. But otherwise, they're both very thematic and fun kill teams. They are both 2-box kill teams in my opinion. The Celestian Insidiants, while you could get away being 1 box, if you wanted to be more competitive, you will need another box, and they are quite difficult to magnetize because a lot of their arms join in at the wrist, and they're not really the strongest and easiest places to magnetize. The Murderwing, however, are much more easier to magnetize, especially for your Murderwing operatives. The only problem is the mutant, who has its own unique pair of legs. So you may be difficult, magnetizing there. Ideally, you do probably just want another 5 Raptors. When it came to mine, I converted them from the Mark II Marines as well as the Mark VI Blood Angel Horus Heresy character to make my own pre-Heresy Alpha Legion Murderwing. But otherwise, yeah, you have a lot of opportunities and both kits are great. For the narrative element is a little bit weaker this time, to be honest. While I personally do love the addition of finally having a mixed kill zone in terms of half Vocus, half 2 mode, and it's really nice that we get unique kill zone boards for this purpose. I just hope they're released like separately permanently. And the other thing is we do get enhanced MPO data sheets, which is really nice, right? So it's really cool that we get nice MPO data cards. It's just kind of a shame, like while the MPO data cards are updated and we do get a really nice Nightbringer data card, to get the most out of the narrative element of this expansion, you kind of have to proxy or own everything or go out and buy the Nightbringer and stuff. So while you kind of can mod it to just represent, instead of like, if you have Tyranids, you can just represent going into a Tyranid hive, that kind of thing. It is a bit lacking. Like, I appreciate what they could do. Obviously, it's really appreciative that because there's just boards, the box shouldn't be too expensive, which is nice. And obviously, if it did come with the Nightbringer, while that would be great for the narrative element, it would also be very expensive. So I can appreciate why it wasn't added. It just feels a bit odd, kind of a bit rough done by. Like, it's great, it's all there. It's just, unfortunately, you have to buy it all on top of buying the box if you want to get the full narrative experience. But would I recommend this box? Yes, once again, if you're a competitive player, you will want this box, mainly for the Murderwing. If you love Chaos Space Marines, you'll love the Murderwing. They are great Chaos kits, all brand new. And if you love, the Sisters Battle, the Adeptus Orientis, you will love the Celestian Insidiants. They are a great kit. I don't think their box art does them much service. If you look at the other schemes in the book, it's really a lot better when the whole model isn't painted black, with the alternating robes. Like the red models look really nice, as well as just anything that isn't pure black, because it kind of distorts their silhouette. But miniature-wise, they're great, and gameplay-wise, they're very good. And even if you're a narrative player, I'd recommend it, because even if you can't, don't own those models, you can just proxy, right? You still can get around it. Obviously, I got this for free to review, but I still would have bought it anyway, just because, well, if I could get it, I don't know what's going on with the stock, but I still think it's a great box. It's a little bit weaker overall compared to prior boxes, but I think it's still a good box overall for Kill Team. But that's pretty much it from me today. Please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video, if you found it useful and helpful. What do you think of Shadowhunt? Remember, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description below for free, and an affiliate link at Almond Games, and affiliate link at discount code at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. So I'm just going to shout out my patrons. So for my adepts to the crew, I have Paul, Thor Other Big, Hruddy, Vadim, Alexis, Arlix, Marshall, the Houston Toad, Dan, Amorphium, Draken, Fangzu, Lucas, Graham, Tom, Mr. Meatwad, Dada Goldens, Nick, Super Cow, and for my veterans of the crowd, Rolling Zeros. So thank you so much for all your support. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. But yeah, I'm going to get on finishing painting my kill teams, mainly my Blade of Cain. I've been working also on the Murderwing, just because they're Alpha Legion, so they're quite quick and fun for me to paint. And then if I have more time, I'll finish off my Celestian Insidiants. It's an interesting box. Obviously, gameplay-wise, I'm kind of disheartened about the power creep, but I've kind of semi-accepted it. I'm more disappointed at the design choices made by the devs. So, we'll just have to see. It is the end, technically, of this season. Yeah, they put out 3 boxes. Will we get a 4th? I don't know. But remember, no matter how deep you go when it comes to Kill Team, there's always a chance to win, as long as you can roll a crit.